Hey guys, how's it going? It's Eric, and I am getting ready to do some work on our trailer. Now, our trailer, which you can see right there, I bought that not too long ago. I'll leave a link somewhere to that. I had to put the fenders on it, but we are taking that trailer to Arkansas with us, down to our property down there, down to our Future Homestead, and it's going to be loaded up with some supplies and some tools that we're going to need there. But I just bought this trailer, and I've never taken the hubs apart and looked at the bearings, and I've certainly never greased the bearings. So we're going to do that today. I'm going to bring you guys along, show you what's entailed in that process. That's a very important process. If you have a trailer that you're towing, pretty much every year, every other year, depending on how much you're using it, you really should take the caps off and check your bearings and make sure they're well greased. That's a major cause of problems with trailers and people being on the side of the road with a blown out bearing. It's not like you can change it on the side of the road right away. So it is really helpful to just do this preventive maintenance in the beginning. So we're going to go ahead and show you what that entails. Okay guys, so you can see here I've got a jack underneath it, and I've loosened up all the lug nuts and have a cooler to sit on, and we're going to work on this side first. So I'm going to get it jacked up, get the tire taken off, and then I'll show you what we got going on from there. Alright, we got the tire off, and I'll show you guys what we're dealing with. Okay, so leaf springs, if you don't know, axle, this here's the hub. So first thing I'm going to do is wiggle it around. I don't see or feel a lot of play in it. That's a good thing. So what we're going to do now is take this cap off, and that will reveal the hub bolt, the washer, and the outside bearing, and then the inside bearings on that side. So let me get you set up so you can see that part.
So they can ride down to the playground.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Do you want Rocco's clicker over here?
Yeah, just in case. That would be great. That was Missy. She's gonna take the grandkids for a little walk so they can go and do their thing. Bingo. That's how easy that is to come off. That's just a little cap. All right, so let me show you what we got here, guys. All right, so this here is gonna be the dirty, greasy part. This looks like a well-maintained axle. This grease is not awfully slimy and in good shape, but we're gonna pack it anyway. So if you see right here, there's a cotter pin, and that is gonna be peened over on this back side right here like that. And you can see that peened over. Alright guys, I changed your angle so that you can see better. But what we're gonna do is just straighten this back out. And pull this cotter pin out, just like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna clean it off and set it to the side because we're gonna reuse it. Okay. Now, what I do usually is check this bolt to see how tight it is at this point. I usually set my bearings to a half a turn back, but let's see where this one was set at. So this is set at a quarter of a turn back. So we might just go with that quarter of a turn when we put it all back together. So all I'm going to do now is take this bearing nut out. So there's the bearing nut, and I'm just gonna wipe that down because we want to check it for any cracks or defects. Just give it a quick wipe down. Be good enough for right now. Set that aside. Next is going to be the bearing washer. Bearing washer. Same thing, just give it a quick wipe down. Set that aside. That's going to leave us with our outside bearing. Now at this point, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to give it a quick wipe down so we can inspect it. But I don't think there's going to be a lot of problems with these bearings because they are very well greased, and that's a good thing. Put that aside. Now you just grab your hub and slide your hub off. On the back side here, there's a seal. I'm going to clean that up, see if I can show you the seal. So me and Missy were sitting on the deck the other day after work, talking about some stuff, and Rocco jumped up and looked into the woods, and I wasn't sure what it was, thought it was a squirrel or something. Then he laid back down and he was just contently looking over that way, and lo and behold, we had a wild turkey come up right 10 yards from the camp, from the deck, eating some bird feed seed that had fallen out of the feeder. And I had my phone with me, so I got a little coverage of that. Take a look at that. It was awesome.
You know, maybe it's one of those things, it's nice to compare. You know, if you're thinking about raising your own meat, you can compare your numbers to our numbers. Cost of feed really comes into it. For us, we're using organic, soy-free, which is expensive feed. That's our biggest cost.
Super spooky.
And then, you know, of course, they get food scraps and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
Alright.
what was our total weight that we put in the freezer?
Okay. All in all, we put 380.7 pounds. Plus the heads. We didn't weigh the heads, and we do keep meat from the heads.
Yeah, we keep the jowls and
yeah,
stuff
I
like
forgot
that.
to weigh those before we put them away.
I'd say.
All right, that was pretty cool. Just thought you guys would be interested in that. It's kind of something nice to have happen. But we're gonna get back to doing this wheel bearing job. Okay guys, I got it all apart and I got it kind of cleaned up, and I'm gonna show you what we're talking about. Okay, so right here's our spindle threads. They all look good. Our spindle's okay, and the area where the seal sits is all good, and we'll wipe it down again before we put it together. Right here is our hub, and here, if you can see in there, is the race for the outside bearing, and that sits in there like that. Now that all looks perfectly fine. Okay, now normally what you would do is the inside bearing, you would knock that out, replace the seal, and pack that bearing. Okay, but because I don't know if I can get a new seal for it, or actually 2 new seals, to pack this bearing, I have made this little bearing packer tool, and you just put it in here like this, and you pack it from this side, and then you flip it over and stick it down in like this, and you pack it from that side. Now, if I saw any wear whatsoever on these bearings, which I do not, and these bearings were very well greased, I would not do this way. I would take it out and then actually inspect it, which is what you're supposed to do. That's what you should do. You should take it out and inspect it. But we are leaving in a week, 6 days, and I don't want to pull these seals out and not be able to get some for 10 days, and then I can't take the trailer. So I've used this method many times in the past to get grease down into those bearings, and it's worked excellent for me. I was shown how to do this probably 40 years ago, and whenever I need to do it, this is the way I do it. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get the bearings packed, and then we're gonna get this put back together, and we're gonna go do the other side. Okay, I got that inside bearing all packed. I'm gonna try and show you. You guys really can't. You guys really can't see that necessarily, but trust me, it's well packed in there. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you how to pack the outer bearing, and what I'm doing now is just squirting some grease out into my hand. Okay, you want to get a good blob and just put it on the palm of your hand like that. Okay, and then see this groove on the inside? You just take that and you kind of just pull it down like that, and you can see it going up into the bearing, and you just keep doing that until it comes out the top. See it coming out the top there? And then just keep going all the way around the bearing until it comes out the top like that, all the way around it. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to put it back together. Alright guys, our bearings are all packed, and we're ready to put it back together. So let me show you what we got. Here's our spindle. All our threads look good, spindle looks good, seal area looks really good. This actually was taken care of very well. Here is our hub, and I packed the inside bearings. There's the outside bearing all packed and lubed up, and the rest of our parts moving forward. So I'm just gonna put this down here like this so that I can show you guys how to put this back together. And it's really a very simple plan. So here's our hub, inside portion. You're just gonna take this and very carefully slip it all the way back on until it sits in place. Then you're gonna take your outside bearing and you're gonna push that in there. And then I usually hold it like that with my thumb. Then you take your washer, you put your washer over it and hold that with your thumb. Take your nut, put your nut on there, and hand tighten it in. Okay, so that's all the way hand snug. Now that that's hand snug, we want to make sure that this has no play, it doesn't move, and it rolls very smoothly in both directions, which it does. Okay? Now, remember, our cotter pin came out right about there. Okay? So now, we're going to take grips, tighten it all the way, and back off a quarter turn. We take our cotter pin and find our cotter pin hole, which is right there. Then you put your cotter pin back in, like that. Now he bent it over that way. I don't like to bend it over that way. I like to bend it over coming out towards the front. Like that. What that does is it makes it easier to grip the next time. Alright, so that is perfect. Now I just take our seal cap, carefully put that over it. Now, put your tire back on, tighten it up, and you're good to go. That is how you grease your bearings on your trailer or any kind of wheel bearing greasement. You can do that way. Once again, the manufacturer recommended way of packing that back inside bearing is to pop it out, pack it the way I packed the front bearing, using the palm of my hand method is the method I've always used. Put it back in and put a new seal behind it. But like I said, this is an older trailer. I don't know if I can get a seal for that in time. I should have done this a couple of weeks earlier so that I could have done it that way, but it just didn't work out that way. That bag bearing is well packed. I have every confidence in it, and it will pass muster all the way down to Arkansas and back. I'll end up doing this again on the next trip down, which will be its last trip going down there, and then it'll live down there. So that's worthwhile to note. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do the other side. Okay, guys, so I thought I would be done doing this one side and go over, and the other side was going to be super easy to do. But as it turns out, I got to the other side and there was no washer between the lock nut and the outer bearing. That's not good. There's supposed to be a washer there. That washer is there for a reason. So about 2 hours worth of running around 3 different auto parts stores, a salvage yard, and finally ended up at a trailer sales place that actually had a parts department and got the proper washer. So the other side is all put together and ready to go. So we have the trailer is ready to roll. Get it covered up, get it tarped down, and that'll be a big success. I'm glad we were able to utilize this. Once again, thank you so much for watching our channel, and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell. That'll let you know every time we have a video coming out. Until the next time, and next week when we're going down to Arkansas, our camp neighbors just walked by. Next time you'll see us, we'll be on our way down to Arkansas. And thanks a lot for joining. Thanks, guys. See ya. Bye.